Alright, in today's video, I'm going to give you guys the top 20 console tips to instantly improve. Now, I'm going to have the first 5 be a bunch of gameplay stuff, like, like settings and everything you need to know. Then the rest are going to be stuff to actually use while you are playing. And the last 5 are going to be a bunch of stuff for solo queuing for the people who are stuck solo queuing. I got you. So be sure to leave a like. If we get this video to 500 likes, it would mean the world to me, as well as if we drop a sub. We're on the grind to 40k. Also, the video is timestamped, so hop around if you want to, but enjoy. Alright, now the first tip is going to be sensitivity. Now, this clip is from my video from about 4 days ago, where I went over the new settings for the new FOV and stuff like that. So, I want to just quickly talk about it, and if you want to, more detail, go check it out. But sensitivity is generally all preference. Whatever sensitivity you're using right now, keep it and modify it from there. Don't go around taking other people's sensitivities, because the most important part about Sens is you want to gain muscle memory and you really just understand how to control the recoils on that sense that you are using and that you are comfortable in. If you are struggling while aiming and shooting, it's most likely your ADS. Your ADS might be a little bit too fast, or it's too slow if you can't flick enough. So I'd recommend trying to keep it what you have right now and increase it or lower it by intervals of 5 and just mess around with that. If you want a more in-detail video, like I said, go check out that video. I posted about 2 days ago. But let's move on to the next tip. Alright, so now when it comes to attachments, I've had a ton of people ask me, what is the best attachment with this new FOV? Has anything changed? Personally, for me, no. I'll show you. So for scopes are all preference. It does not matter what you use. I prefer to use a 1.5 times, and when I cannot, I'll either use a red dot C or a reflex B. Those are my favorite go-to scopes, but it's all preference at the end of the day. If you want to use that gigantic Cybertruck looking Halo 5 looking scope, go for it, okay? It's all up to you. Now when it comes to the barrel, this is a big one. I personally think flash hider is still the best. I've used compensator, and it's not bad, and muzzle brake isn't bad. But in my opinion, from when I've tried it out, if you guys see my sensitivity video, I tried out a bunch of them, and I thought flash hider was the best for recoil overall. But when it comes to the grips, same thing, vertical grip. If you want to use an angled grip on certain guns, go for it. It'll make there be more recoil, but now there's no, recoil on FOV change. If you want to try it out and, see how you feel, go do it. But that should be the same for the attachments. Nothing's really changed, to be honest, but let's move on to the next tip. Now, this quick tip that has to do with your actual gameplay. Try out different dead zones. I personally play on left stick 5 and right stick 5. I've seen a lot of people try 7 and 7, or I've seen people try 6 and 7. This is all preference. This is just going to be how you feel based off of how fast you want your analog sticks to move. For me, I like to use 5-5. I like it as fast as possible. But if you want it a little slower, go try 7-7. It is a solid dead zone. But just here's a tip. Pay attention to your dead zone. Try different ones. See how you feel. Alright, so for this next tip, I want to talk about FOV. Now, FOV coming to console is huge, and it is very, very good, and I definitely recommend utilizing it. Now, by this, I mean I would definitely not play on 60 FOV ever again, and I definitely recommend playing on as high as you can possibly make it, that you can still enjoy it and see things. If you have good eyesight, or at least you like it, on 90, play 90. 85 to 90 is solid. You will have, no recoil, and it is super nice. Recently in streams, I've had people tell me they play on 75 because they can't really see on too high. So if that's the case, then I completely understand. But I prefer 85 to 90. It feels so smooth for me. As you see here, this is on 90. I love it. But definitely recommend playing on a higher FOV. Now, the final tip before we get into actual gameplay tips is going to be to practice your recoil. Now, like I've mentioned in a couple videos in the past, just go into a T-hunt, as you see here, and just stick to the sensitivity and just aim at the wall and shoot. Clear out the top floor, shoot, and practice. You can do this in TDM as well if you prefer that. But for just straight up learning recoil on a sensitivity, I prefer to learn my recoil on T-Hunt. It feels very nice. I can sit by an ammo crate, and I can just keep practicing, shoot at a wall, back up, pull down on my analog stick just enough, try and figure out exactly what I need for my sensitivity. It will help you a lot. Like I said, you don't need to change your sense 24/7. Just go practice the recoil for a little bit and see how you like it. Now, for this next tip, I want to talk about positioning. Positioning is huge, and in this clip, you're going to see me clutch up a 1v3. Now, if it was not for my positioning, I would have lost this a while ago. I'm going to break this down for you. You see, 1v3, I'm sitting behind a server. Only thing exposed is my front. I'll hear if they come and push up on me, but I'm using my surroundings in the situation. I'm going to try and take my one-on-one gunfights. As you see here, I'm not really exposing myself to many spots, and I'm running back, using my sound cues to try and fake people off a bomb plant, using my, just general surroundings to now hold a tighter angle and just sit here and wait for them to push. I have to actually think, okay, let me try and move. Okay, let me see if I can go flank the hallway. I get scanned. I know I have to run back. Now, this is just me constantly moving, just so they cannot give this guy an accurate call out to where I am. I then prone because I'm waiting for him to run to the door, and then I remember, oh wait, there's a rotate, I need to get up, I start being spotted, I immediately need to move. Positioning is huge, but you need to also move around a lot. Positioning is really going to come down to the stuff around you and call-outs and generally what's already going on in the map, like rotates, holes, whatever it may be. Alright, so for this next tip, I want to talk about having confidence and really just playing and not being scared. You see me in a 1v5, now it's a 1v4, 1v3, and I'm slowly bringing this down. But right before this clip, I was literally 0-2, and I was like, damn, I need to do something. So what did I do? I changed up what I was doing. That is one way to gain your confidence. For example, I was sitting in sight, and I'm like, nope, I gotta change up. Now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna roam, so now I'll see people, and I'm telling myself these things, so I'm boosting up my confidence. A great way to boost your confidence also is to actually warm up and just let yourself know that you're actually good. Go into a TDM, smoke some kids, and then head into ranked. Show yourself that you're good. Make sure you warm up. Get that in the back of your head. But you even hear me say this. Just listen to this. See? Do you see what I mean? You just have to stop playing like a pussy and swing people. So overall, I'm just saying, just make sure you actually believe in yourself. Don't play scared. If you play very scared and you play very passive, you are going to be worried. You're not going to actually win these gunfights. You have to tell yourself, I got this. I'm going to win this gunfight. I got this. No matter what the situation is. I'm literally in like a 1v5 and I don't care. I'm just constantly moving, changing my positioning as I told you guys earlier. And I'm just believing in myself. Pre-firing, telling me, like, myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in my head. And I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? And I start breaking stuff down and I take it slow in my head. Just do that. Just tell yourself you're good. Tell yourself you got this. Warm up. Get into that mindset. And also don't play with toxic people, because toxic people might bring your confidence down and they might make you think you're not as good as you actually are. But let's move on to the next tip. Alright, so for this next quick tip, I want to just tell you, please play in a 5-stack. A 5-stack will help you a ton, especially if you are trying to climb the ranks. Even if your 5-stack is not the best, 5 stacks help a lot. Even 4, whatever it may be, it will help you a lot because you can give call-outs. Unlike PC, on console, there is no chat where you can just type a little key and start talking in chat. Or start typing in chat. Either or, you can't do any of that on console. So you really have to rely on communicating with your team and giving callouts and letting them know where you are and going on flank cams and going on drones for them. This will help you improve a lot. I promise you. Just try and get a 5-stack or at least a 4-stack. Go give it a try. Alright, so for this next tip, this is very similar to the confidence tip, but I want you to find operators that you actually are comfortable on. I'm very comfortable on Wamai, and I can use just about any op. But I just know, like, if I'm on Wamai, like, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to clutch up, or I'm going to come very close to clutching up. Compared to another operator like Mute, or any other operators I'm really just not as comfortable with. I can still do good with every op. I'm a very flex player, but when you give me that Wamai, or you give me an Oryx T5, or whatever it is, I have a very select few, that I really would just dominate with. I feel very comfortable on, and it just boosts my confidence. Especially if you're not playing the best. If you notice you're in a slump, try and go to the operators that you played best on. Just think back to when you were not in a slump, what operators were your favorite? And if those, were your favorite and you're still in a slump, try out new operators. Just try and find something that you can get very comfortable on until you get back out of that slump and you are chilling. I personally change an operator every month. I swear, I'm a new main every month. Like, it's just the way it is. I'm from Alibi to Amai to here to this. It's crazy. But just try and find operators that you can be comfortable on, and it will help you a ton. Alright, so for this next tip, I want to talk about pre-firing. Pre-firing is super important, and I think especially with console with this new 90 FOV, where there's not going to be as much recoil as there used to be, definitely do it more. A lot of people didn't really pre-fire because, their aim would be all over the place, but as you see here, pre-firing is going to help me win this round. Like, anytime I'm going to cross over a door where someone might be holding an angle, or enter in a door, I might pre-fire. It will help me a lot. This will allow you to change positions, get people off of head glitches, get people out of corners before they can shoot you or while they can shoot you. Because if you just don't pre-fire, they're going to be able to see you by the time you're ADSing. Like, pre-firing is literally so important, and that's why I can't use, like, the Roni anymore because I pre-fire so much, and it just winds up making me lose all my ammo. Like, the Fink LMG meta with pre-firing, I got way too comfortable on it, but it will help you a lot. Like, look at this kill right here. I pre-fired him. If I didn't pre-fire him, I probably would have died and lost the round. So it is very, very important to pre-fire. Like I said, just try to get used to it. Try and make it a habit. It's very, very good. Alright, so for this next tip, I just want to talk about the Elite Controller, or a Scuff Controller. This is something that is not going to help everyone right now because it will cost money, but if you do get it, this will help you a lot. I have paddles on the back of my controller. I have the raised analog sticks on the front. I lean into my top left and right paddles. I crouch with my bottom left. I vault to my bottom right. This controller is super comfortable and it is very, very good. You can also change a ton of stuff with the stick sensitivity in the actual app on the Xbox, as well as You can even take off these analog sticks and use whichever one you want. I just wanted to include this in the video because this has helped me improve a ton. So if at any point you can save up enough money for this or a Scuff controller, I prefer this over a Scuff. But if you consider for this, definitely I recommend it. It is amazing, and it has helped me improve and make me feel so much smoother and help my aim and recoil and everything. You don't need this. I played without it for like 3 years, but it still will help you a ton. Alright, so now for this next tip, I want to tell you guys to find a role and try and stick with it for a day, a week, however long you want to, or forever. For me, like I said, I'm a flex player. So sometimes if I play in a 5-stack and I feel I'm the best fragger in that lobby, I'm going to go on Twitch. But there's certain times I might play with people who are better than me or who are just already performing better than me today, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to go and play Nomad. I'm going to go and play Ace. You know, my aim's not feeling the best right now. My confidence is a little low. Let me still help the team out, though, and let's gain this confidence back. So, generally, you just need to find a role that suits you. Now, if you're a very good fragger and you're a very good player, you know, obviously, go play Twitch, go play Ash, go play IQ. But if you feel like your aim is a little bad and, you know, even if you are a fragger, you're not doing the best, switch off. Let someone else play it. Unless your stack is horrid and you need to play it, then stay on it. But for the most part, you know, if you have a good team, let someone else play it. Like I said, I switch all the time. That's because I'm a flex player. But if you're a hard support player, then stick to support. Try and figure out where you need to be, where you are with your skill range, and don't have an ego. Just actually evaluate yourself and, you know, think to yourself, where am I on this little, like, totem pole of a fragger, support, or flex? Like I said, I'm definitely a flex player. I'm not always a fragger. I'm a great player, but there is times I don't play the best. I play other games. I come on. Sometimes I'm poo. Like, you know what I mean? It happens. But I definitely am a flex player, and that's where I am right now. But that's up to you to figure it out. Think about what you perform best with. Now, this next tip is going to be droning or cameras, whatever you want to say. But I want to show you. This is why I use Zero a lot. For anyone who knows me, I always play Zero. Cameras and drones are so important. Zero has 4 cameras and 2 drones, so it's very good. You know, very good for utility, and it will help the team, and he has 2 hard breach devices, but this video, and a gun 6, but this video is not about Zero, okay? But generally, I'm just saying he's a very good operator, and cameras are very, very important. You want to make sure that you are droning out everything and getting information. Cameras and drones are so broken and are not used enough in lower ranks. People just rush in and die to people sitting in a corner. Like, yes. Is it a stupid corner? Yes. But if you drone out, if you, check cameras, you'll see these people and you'll make them move. That's the whole point of a drone. Even if you can't, completely give someone a call out or you don't know where it is, if they see a drone, they're going to shoot it and probably move, or they're going to shoot it and stay there. Either way, you're giving a call out. You're letting people know where they are. You're making the other player get scared. Either way, you are helping your team, which is why I love Zero a lot. I'm the best Zero main out there. But just drone out more, please. Drone out everything. Drone in your teammates. Drone in everything. Alright, so that's a very quick tip. I just want to say, give callouts, please, okay? There is an actual compass on this game that actually shows you the callouts of where you are. So if you're being pushed, let someone know where you are. If you are droning in, just give callouts. Let them know what you're droning. Let them know where you're pushing. Let them know where you're roaming. This is a very simple tip, and I don't think I really need to put this in here, but I just want to say this. Please actively give callouts to what you're doing and what you are watching too. That's another huge thing. If you get the bomb planted down, tell the teammate what you're watching so that you guys don't watch the same exact thing. Very simple tip, but it will save you rounds. I promise you that. Alright, so now moving on to the solo queue tips. The first tip that I have for you is going to be to push with your team, even if you don't like the push. You will be there to get the refrags. You'll be there to help. As you see, I'm on Ace. I wanted to go for a bakery push, but everyone else is pushing the back, even though we had a sledge for nades, but they didn't want to. They wanted to go for a back push, so then I rotated, and I went and pushed the back with them. This is actually something that will help you a ton, no matter the operator you are. Pushing with your team, even when you're solo queuing, like I said, even if you don't like it, it's just good because you're there to get the refrag. You're there to push off your team. You're there to be numbers. Numbers game is very important. So if you're solo queuing, just push your team, even if you don't like it. Now, although I do say to push your team, we're going to go back to this Nomad clip because I find it very important that you also need to make sure you do not all group up. If you have like 5 people going through one doorway, don't go to that doorway, okay? Go somewhere else. You'll notice here, we're in a 1v2 situation. I'm like, okay, well, we need to split up and kind of get a pinch going because if we both come through one doorway, they're all going to watch that, and they can have all 4 watching that door. So that's why I say to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm going to push down these freezer stairs so that way we can get a pinch going, and I can kind of direct other people's attention to me and not just him. So there is times to always group up, like in the beginning. If you're going for like a push, that's different. But if you're filing in through one doorway, you don't need 5 people doing that. It's very good to get a pinch going, and you can all identify what to do in what situation by what's going on in the game. Like, for example, if we had the diffuser, maybe it would have been smarter to push together with him so I can cover him when he plants the bomb, but we have to just go for frags here, so I was trying to, pinch him. Alright, so for this next solo queue tip, I want to talk about yellow pinging. It is very, very important when you are solo queuing, especially on console, because you can't really communicate. You can't type in the chat or talk in the chat. So yellow ping is going to be your best friend, and I don't really have any gameplay of this because I don't record myself when I'm dead, so, or if I'm droning out and, ping stuff. So what you need to do is just make sure if you go on drones, if you go on cameras while you're alive or dead while solo queuing, just ping where people are, ping where you hear stuff, ping stuff. That's like the way you have to communicate on console if you're solo queuing. I promise you, it will help you a lot. It will help your team a lot, and you will see yourself actually win rounds if you can actually find a way to communicate. It's like its own little like Morse code, bro. But just make sure you ping more. Alright, so for this next solo queue tip, bring operators that will actually help your team, not just ones that you want to go. There's so many times when I want to play Twitch, as you see in this clip, but nobody's bringing a hard boot. So you know what I have to do? I have to go play Ace. And I know I can frag out, but I have to play Ace. But it's very important, because if you just all take fraggers, you're going to lose. So the best way to actually win when solo queuing is kind of biting the bullet and like looking at what your teammates are doing, right? So for example, I'll go on Twitch first and I'll see, does anyone take Ace? And if no one takes Ace, then I'll go play Ace and I'll do that. Or is no one taking Nomad? We need a flank. I'll go play Nomad. If I'm playing bad though, I'll immediately take Ace. But like I said, it all depends on what role I want to play. But most of the time, what you need to do if you're solo queuing that will help you a lot and actually help the team composition is look at what you need, not what you want. I'm telling you, it will help you. When solo queuing, make sure that you drone out everything yourself and do not rely on others. I am someone who solo queues so much, and I have made the mistake so many times when I'll be like, I thought my teammate droned it. I literally watched him drone out that area. Yeah, don't do that. Drone out everything yourself, because a lot of the times your teammate might drone it out, but they just won't ping them or do anything, and you'll think it's clear, and it's just bad. So that's why I drone out everything myself now. I don't even allow my teammates to drone me in, because I have like PTSD from when I'm playing solo queue. So just make sure that you are droning out everything yourself, so that way you can show yourself that nobody is in a certain area and you know it's completely clear, and it will help you a ton. Alright, now for the final solo queue tip, it is going to be to make sure if you're on defense, look at who is roaming and look at who is sitting in sight, no matter who you are. And of course, if you're Vigil, go roam. But if I'm playing like Jaeger or I'm playing Mozzie or even Romai, I can roam with Romai all I want. But you need to pay attention when you're solo queuing to who is roaming. Because there's so many times when I will be roaming, thinking, okay, I'm playing Vigil, I should be roaming. And then nobody's in sight, and then they just charge the site and plant the bomb, and we lose the round. So something you really need to pay attention to when you are solo queuing is look at what your team is doing. You have to really just watch what they're doing, like you're like following them. And just make sure that you just like know how many people are in sight, how many people are roaming, and just know when to roam and when not to roam. It's very important. It's very simple, but just make sure you do it every single round. Otherwise, it will lose you rounds. But hopefully, you guys did enjoy this video. I will see y'all. Have an amazing day. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to comment. And be sure to subscribe. Also, stop on my Twitch. I stream at 8:30 every night. I will see y'all. Peace.